taking an internet scumbag to court, moving on from a famous relationship, and working on her scary dad voice. She rose to fame thanks to Storage Wars, but Brandi Passante's life hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. While being a public figure can bless a person with fame and fortune, it also comes with a number of drawbacks. Unfortunately for Brandi Passante, she's no stranger to the ugly things you sometimes have to deal with when the world knows your name. Back in 2012, Passante sued Hunter Moore, an adult film distributor and founder of the site isanyoneup.com. The Hollywood Reporter notes the site is known for hosting adult content, usually submitted without the subject's permission, alongside subjects' Facebook pictures. In 2011, Facebook had issued Moore a cease and desist order, after which Moore shut down the site and moved it to Tumblr and X, formerly known as Twitter. There, he posted a video of someone he claimed was Passante. Passante first became aware of the video's existence when she received messages about it on X. Although she maintained that the video was fake, Passante said that she still dealt with fear and anxiety surrounding the possibility it would find its way to her family's phone screens. Needless to say, Passante sued Moore for all he had. She managed to get a judge to ban Moore from spreading any more of the videos, but her lawsuit against him wasn't very successful. She only received $750 in damages after initially suing Moore for $2.5 million. To make matters worse, Moore's attitude didn't change at all throughout the whole ordeal. After the final verdict, he took to X and wrote, "What should I write on the check in the memo line for that bitch who sued me?" While Passante made some big bucks on Storage Wars, she still had to pave a way for herself in the professional storage buyer world. Everything worked out for her in the end, but getting there wasn't exactly easy. As she explained to Lifetime Moms in 2013, working in a male-dominated industry can be wildly unpleasant at times. However, she's not one to back down from a challenge, telling the site, "It forces me to be tougher and not to wear my heart on my sleeve. I find that the men in my business will walk all over you once they discover your weaknesses, so you have no choice but to develop a thick skin." During her time on the show, Passante proved that she could do the kind of unglamorous work that comes with buying storage units just as well as her male counterparts. After Storage Wars became a raging success, Passante was a bona fide reality star. While that may sound like a dream for some people, becoming a public figure was a nightmare for her initially. As she revealed in a chat with Danny Jordan for The Dad Diary, Passante received some scary letters after the show's initial success and eventually had to move into a gated community with a guard for peace of mind.
It was definitely life-changing. I did have to have a little bit of therapy about it. I didn't like to leave the house for quite some time.
Speaking to Lifetime Moms, Passante said that she's not as extroverted as she appears on the show, confessing, "I even get anxiety when I have to go out to the store or to the gas station because I'm afraid of people approaching me." Passante said that her shyness sometimes makes her come across as an unpleasant person, and when she was a child, she would often throw unintentional dirty looks at onlookers. Passante is well aware that because of her introverted personality, people sometimes have a misconception of her on Storage Wars. She said, "I think I'm perceived as a on the show, but I'm just trying to run a business and save money." One person that was a constant presence throughout Brandi Passante's time on Storage Wars was her longtime boyfriend, Jared Schultz. By the Storage Wars Season 13 premiere in 2021, however, Passante had announced they'd split up after filming Season 12 in 2018. Some of what we do know about Passante and Schultz's breakup came during a 2021 interview Passante gave to Spirit Talk. Throughout the chat, she opened up about moving on from the relationship.
I was describing it as sort of emotionally dead inside, kind of trying to find my place.
Things between Passante and Schultz appeared a little cold after the breakup, with the two butting heads during storage auctions on the show. Passante also claimed during her interview with Spirit Talk that while she had started dating, she hadn't jumped back into any sort of relationship. Aside from navigating her breakup with Schultz, Passante was also dealing with fulfilling the new role of a single mom. Speaking to Danny Jordan for The Dad Diary, Passante revealed that while Schultz was still a part of their children's lives, their two kids were living with her. She shared that as tough as it was to raise two teenagers by herself, she and her kids were making the best of it, saying, "We have a good relationship. We talk to each other and we're able to tell each other things without me getting shocked or upset." However, she also said that she was trying to navigate the fine line between being her kids' confidant and their mom. When asked whether juggling multiple roles as a single mom was challenging, Passante revealed that she did most of the parenting when she and Schultz were together, and her responsibility list hadn't changed too much. That said, she did confess that her kids were more responsive to Schultz when he asked them to do their chores, saying, "It's the scary dad voice in the background that we're missing." Even so, she said she was content with their family dynamic and that she was happy with her life at the moment. One thing about being in the spotlight is that when the whole world knows your name, chances are they are pretty familiar with your family too. Passante experienced just how much her fame affected her children when social media trolls decided to take aim at them on a few occasions, and she's tried to keep them out of the spotlight ever since. During her appearance on the Dad Diary, Passante said that her kids don't want her posting pictures of them on any social media platforms. Anytime I post anything, people say gross things about my daughter or, just inappropriate stuff, and I don't want to expose them to that. Passante said that she respects her kids' wishes to remain off her social media feed and therefore rarely post any pictures with them unless she has their permission. Passante has plenty of videos and pictures she treasures on her camera roll, but the world won't get to see it. She did, however, post a snap of her daughter on Instagram in 2020 to celebrate her winter formal and show off her outfit. In the caption, she explained to her followers why they rarely saw her kids, writing, "I stopped posting photos of my babies because some creepy-ass dudes were harassing them. Don't be gross." In May 2021, Brandi Passante and Jared Schultz's relationship made headlines again. Passante was spending time in an Orange County bar with some of her friends when Schultz visited the establishment and proceeded to have an exchange with Passante that reportedly turned violent. Police sources who spoke to TMZ after the incident said that once the couple's exchange turned heated, Passante asked Schultz to leave, but he refused to do so. According to the sources, the argument escalated and then got physical. Schultz allegedly shouted at Passante before pushing her twice. Thanks to the commotion, the police were called, but Schultz reportedly left before authorities arrived at the scene. Passante gave a statement to the police, but Schultz denied the allegations. In the end, he was charged with misdemeanor domestic violence. It's not clear what the former couple were arguing about. Passante had hinted in an April 2021 interview with Pop Culture that she and Schultz weren't getting along so well on the set of Storage Wars, describing working with her ex as, quote, "not comfortable."
There's a 90% chance that you're gonna leave here mad at me today, and I accept that.
Brandi Passante is one of the many people who lost a family member during the first year of the COVID-19 outbreak. In October 2020, the Storage Wars personality took to Instagram to share that her dad had died. She posted a picture of her father holding her as a baby, along with lyrics to Willie Nelson's "Angel Flying Too Close to the Ground." She continued to write in the caption, "I always smile when I think of you. I was most definitely a daddy's girl. I can't think of a time that you ever got mad at me or yelled at me. I absolutely used that to my advantage. I will miss you terribly." Passante has continued to honor her father on social media in the years since his passing. In 2024, she posted a video with various pictures of the two of them to celebrate his birthday, writing in the caption, "I miss you terribly. I hope you're enjoying a road soda in a paper bag and a cheap smoke." In 2022, an Instagram follower asked Passante why her voice has a distinctive rasp to it. She decided to share her answer in an Instagram story, saying, "I have Hashimoto's disease, an autoimmune that affects my thyroid. Sometimes it makes my throat raspy." Passante didn't elaborate on when she was diagnosed with the disease or whether she experienced any other symptoms. According to the Cleveland Clinic, other symptoms of Hashimoto's disease include weight gain, exhaustion, and constipation. Puffiness of the face, hair loss, infertility, muscle pain and joint stiffness, and inability to concentrate and depression are also associated with the disease. Hashimoto's affects the thyroid gland's hormone production, causing it to produce less thyroid hormone than it should. This is what leads to the unpleasant symptoms associated with the disease. Hashimoto's disease is relatively common, affecting about every 5 in 100 people in the US. Medications that can help keep symptoms at bay are available. Unfortunately, no cure yet exists, and the medication used to treat symptoms can cause some undesirable side effects. If you or anyone you know is dealing with domestic abuse, you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. You can also find more information, resources, and support at their website,